From a crane collapsing in a rescue gone wrong, and a daredevil riding 6 rafts down a river, to a pilot's unbelievable view of a 787's contrails, and the harrowing moment a snowboarder outruns an avalanche, here are 10 more incredible moments caught on camera. In Durg, India, a driver got their car stuck in the Kotni River. It must have been the most exciting thing to happen all day as a crowd gathered to watch a crane operator rescue the sinking vehicle. Counterweight is the name of the game when you're trying to pull a heavy vehicle out of the water. Whoever was in charge of balancing this crane should probably reconsider their career choices. The operator was on the cusp of rescuing the car. Then, tragedy struck. The crane appears to be doing its job, but you can feel the tension brewing as the car inches closer. Water pours out of the car as they lift it towards the barrier, and it sounds like something gets stuck on the horn. The rear tires emerge over the concrete lip, and our driver looks like they might be getting their car back. But the weight proves too much, and the vehicle and crane plummet into the water, narrowly missing a man who thought this was a good time for a swim. It takes less than a minute for the car to sink. Now they have an even bigger problem on their hands. And we can't say what happened to the crane, though we imagine they needed an even bigger one to haul it out. Hopefully that one didn't suffer the same fate. The Pyrenees Mountains rest on the border of Spain and France, with the tallest among them reaching over 11,000 feet in altitude. There are 49 ski resorts across the mountain range, 34 on the French side and 15 on the Spanish. However, the real thrill seekers head off trail, where backcountry skiing can mean life or death. On December 19th of 2017, Alphonse Garcia hiked up one side of the Aran Valley and strapped on his snowboard. He and some friends were out making a documentary, but they ended up filming a classic James Bond scene instead.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. ¡Gas, gas, gas! ¡Gas! ¡Izquierda! ¡Dale, dale, 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 dale! ¡Recto, recto! ¡Gas, gas, gas, gas!
¡Hostias, hostias!
¡Sí! ¡Sí, papá! Mira qué sonido, sonido, sonido. Qué bueno, Alphonse. Mira atrás tuyo.
Alphonse carves through powdery snow as he weaves between the rocks. He leaps off a small jump and lands hard enough to trigger an avalanche behind him, turning his casual day on the mountain into a race for his life. His friends scream in the background when they notice the snow, though we're not sure if Alphonse knows what's behind him. But, like a real action hero, he escapes the avalanche and rides up to his waiting friends, who have some amazing footage to show him. Alphonse is a true pro who's been riding these kinds of trails for many years. He's participated in several free-ride world qualifier events, and by all accounts, it was a beautiful day in December for some backcountry boarding. His harrowing experience goes to show how unpredictable nature can be. If you were in Moscow on June 17th of 2017 and looked at the sky, you might have seen some spectacular contrails coming off a Boeing 787. Of course, that's assuming you could see 33,000 feet in the air and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Pilot Lou Boyer was en route from Tokyo to Alaska when he saw a Boeing Dreamliner through the cockpit window. He immediately noticed the beautiful contrails emitting from the plane's engines. Thanks to autopilot, Lou was able to record the once-in-a-lifetime event. From a distance, it looks like there's something wrong with the approaching plane. Perhaps that's what caught Lou's attention in the first place. Thankfully, these contrails are a natural phenomenon. They occur when the hot exhaust blends with the cold air temperatures, and this thick vapor forms behind the plane. The Dreamliner eventually passes under Lou's plane, and we get to see how thick the vapor clouds are. Now, you may have more conspiracy-minded folks call these chemtrails instead of contrails. We won't be going down any rabbit holes today. Just know that what you see in this video is a 100% natural occurrence. You probably see contrails every day when you watch a plane fly overhead. The Rogue River in Oregon attracts whitewater rafting enthusiasts from all over the country. According to the book Soggy Sneakers, A Paddler's Guide to Oregon's Rivers, the Rogue's main stem is one of the best-known whitewater runs in the United States. But some adrenaline junkies aren't happy with normal amounts of thrill and danger. Just ask Covey Back, an avid whitewater rafter who, in 2017, decided that one raft just wasn't enough. Instead, he headed out with 6 rafts stacked on top of each other. Covey approaches a short dip with his raft tower and tries to keep himself steady with his oversized paddles. But it looks like he's at the Rogue's mercy as he loses control and his raft tower does a 180. Several bystanders film and cheer him on, and Covey pumps his fists victoriously once he clears the rapids. By 2017, Covey had been a Rogue River guide for 19 years. He knows it like the back of his hand, which makes it easier to accomplish crazy feats like the raft tower. When asked to describe the Rogue's personality, he said it's relaxed but loves to party, like a mullet. Evanston is a college town in Illinois, about 14 miles north of Chicago. It sits on the shores of Lake Michigan and gets pretty cold in the wintertime. But the weather can be pretty odd by the Great Lakes. We're sure Louis Perlia, a local photographer, knows a thing or two about odd Illinois weather. On February 18th of 2019, as the weather changed from freezing cold to still pretty cold, Louis found and photographed a tree that appeared to be melting from the inside. The ensuing footage looks like perfect CGI or a scene from Alien. Now, it's hard to see, but there is an ultra-thin layer of ice around the outside of the tree. As it warmed, that layer peeled away from the bark while maintaining its shape, allowing water to trickle down between the ice and the tree. Stunning visuals aside, the ice also makes a satisfying crackling sound, like pouring milk over a fresh bowl of Rice Krispies. This ice tree was probably a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We're not sure about the science behind it, nor how the ice can peel away while maintaining its shape. As we said, weather is weird, especially up in Evanston, Illinois. Monsoon rains pelted the Indian state of Karnataka during the summer of 2020. 12 districts found themselves inundated with water, but it wasn't just the people having a hard time. After the Tungabhadra River overflowed, between 50 and 100 monkeys got stuck in some trees. They were stranded for 3 days as the water levels rose, unable to swim or navigate across for food and shelter. Thankfully, fire personnel and the forest department joined forces to deploy a rope ladder. After some hesitation, the monkeys all made the treacherous journey across. The monkeys climb across the wobbly rope ladder one by one. They try their best not to fall in the water, but we're sure a few feet and tails got wet that day. You can see the rain coming down, and the ladder itself kisses the top of the water. Thankfully, the monkeys were wise enough not to rush across the ladder all at once. One little guy makes it across first. Maybe he signaled back to tell the others that these humans were all right. Rescue workers arrived on August 6th and tried to get the monkeys to jump into their boats. But the monkeys were too afraid, and they had to come up with a new plan. That's when they decided on the rope ladder and finally rescued the monkeys on August 9th. In September of 2020, massive wildfires broke out in El Dorado County, California. They began on September 5th near Yucaipa and lasted until November 16th, burning over 22,000 acres of land. Firefighters deployed across the San Bernardino countryside to battle the blaze, and one team captured a terrifying nighttime shot as the fire burnt the trees around them.
He's coming to us to be safe.
A frightened squirrel darts across the road as the literal gates of hell stand before our firefighting team. You can hear the wind whipping past them, probably blowing hot air in their faces. Our cameraman moves around, and you can see that they are surrounded by flames. Thankfully, the worst of it concentrates ahead of them, leaving room for retreat if need be. Now, you may have heard about this fire on social media or in the news. It's the one that started with a gender reveal party gone wrong. A family and their children gathered at El Dorado Ranch Park in Yucaipa and set off what officials called a smoke-generating pyrotechnic device. The device ignited the dry grass, and strong winds stoked the blaze as it tore through national park land. Sadly, the fire claimed one elite firefighter's life, and the couple responsible was charged with involuntary manslaughter in July of 2021. Murfreesboro is Nashville's largest suburb and the 6th biggest city in the state. Like any major city, the highways can get pretty congested, especially on rainy, windy nights like March 21st of 2017. Those living in Rutherford County remember it fondly. According to the National Weather Service, violent thunderstorms passed over Middle Tennessee, bringing torrential rain and 90-mile-per-hour winds. Roger Jones and his girlfriend were stuck in traffic on I-24 and decided to record the storm. Little did he know he was about to become a hero.
Holy this, oh my God. Are you okay, dude? Get out! Hey! Get out of the side. Okay, Can I get over?
You can hardly see anything through the rain as Roger records the storm. Then a tractor trailer appears through the fog and heads towards Roger's car. As it passes, a heavy gust of wind crashes into the broadside, causing the semi to tip over and land on another vehicle. Roger asks those inside if they're okay and then pulls over to help. Roger told Fox 17 Nashville News that he tried to get out of his car to help, but the wind was blowing so hard that it was impossible to open his door. "2020 was a terrible year for flooding in China. According to the South China Morning Post, extreme weather displaced some 744,000 people and caused $3.8 billion in economic loss across 26 provinces and cities. In Lujiang County, overflow on the Shida-Shulian River caused some workers to take drastic action. A breach opened up on the embankment, and water began flowing freely. Unable to fill the hole with dirt, workers tried to push their excavators in to plug the breach. They clearly underestimated the river's power. The first excavator falls in and immediately gets washed away. Our cameraman initially sounds excited, but then surprised when their plan doesn't work. So they reload and try again. This time, 2 excavators push a third into the breach, but it too gets washed away by the water. Hey, third time's the charm, right? Wrong. The last excavator gets carried away like the others, and the workers stop trying. Now 3 pieces of expensive heavy machinery in the hole. According to rescue personnel, the breach continued to widen, causing 2 more excavators to fall into the river for a total of 5. Thankfully, nobody was inside the latter 2 when they fell in. Halloween of 2020 wasn't all candy and trick-or-treaters in Springfield Lakes, Australia, and it wasn't just because of COVID lockdowns. Before the sun went down, a massive hailstorm dropping cricket ball-sized hail pummeled residents, causing over 1.8 billion Australian dollars in damages. One resident pressed record as the hail started falling and captured the moment when Halloween hell broke loose on Springfield Lakes. It sounds like dozens of construction workers are hammering at his roof, but that's just the sound of hail bouncing off the shingles. The storm picks up, and we can see giant hailstones collecting all around his house. Eventually, one crashes through the window, forcing our cameraman to jump back to avoid the glass. By Halloween of 2021, many residents were still waiting for their insurance claims to go through. According to 7 News Australia, residents filed 44,200 claims, 5,000 of which were still outstanding. Some were waiting on roof and air conditioning repairs, which kept them from living in their homes or sleeping in their bedrooms. To see another video just like this one, be sure to click the link on screen now. With that, thanks for watching and be sure to tune in next time.